Thanks for tuning in to the KRVN Sports Podcast page, your home for all of the local broadcasts produced by KRVN Sports. This page and the playback is brought to you by Hoegemeyer Hybrids, raising the bar on yield performance. For the Rural Radio Network, I'm Jason Jorgensen. Spring practice begins this week for the UNK football squad. Head coach Ryan Held and the Lopers will start spring workouts later on this week, and Coach talks about where things stand at this point in the offseason.
Well, we have 100-plus kids, Jason, going through spring. We feel really good about the opportunity that every position has really good competition potential to see who can, be a starter, who can be the backup, and who can log minutes. We feel we can make big progress on all three phases of the game. We're going to do more live special teams than we've ever done just because, we're counting on a lot of these guys to play. And, we're in year three now, and we should make some really good jumps in year three. And we feel that the guys that have been in the program understand what the expectations are. We did bring in, 18, 19 kids, and they've been through 9 weeks of winter and testing and everything. So, that we've been on the field some. And so we feel good that those guys can come out, and as we start this week, we can hit the ground running at a very fast pace. How's
your work in the weight room been? You've been satisfied with that?
Yeah, I think we've made some good jumps. We've seen some guys really make some good improvement. Now we need to be able to translate that onto the football field. And there's correlation between the weight room and strength and speed and explosiveness and power that go into the football play, but also sometimes guys might not test as well, but they're just better football players. So we'll see how that all works out.
You mentioned 18 to 19 newcomers on hand. Do you just about have most of your transfers on campus for this spring?
Yeah, I think right now, we feel that we can really get a good look at the players that are here. Now, you know how it is, Jason, it could change. There's going to be some kids that, move on, by choice or, by our choice or whatever, which could change, our ability to have to go get a few more guys, which I think you always have to be prepared to roster manage and get 3 or 4 more guys. But I don't see us having to go get 15 more guys to be able to come in and play this fall. We could go play a game right now and I think be very competitive in MIAA and compete with anybody.
There are a couple of areas you're really looking for development this spring?
Yeah, I mean, we got to figure out the quarterback position. There's really good competition there. You cannot win this league without not having a quarterback. And the top teams in our league, year in and year out, have had a quarterback that can make plays and be the engine of your football team. And so we feel that we have really good competition there. And then, every other position is there's enough guys that we're excited about seeing, whether they've been in the program and developed, whether they redshirted or whether they're new.
Looks like this spring you're going to try to maybe copy the format you had last year in which you got a scrimmage against another school. And I know you thought you got a lot out of that last year.
Yeah, we're going to go against Sioux Falls. They're a good program. They won 7 or 8 games last year, and they're well coached. And they're very similar to Wayne State in schematics, which would be good. They're going to give us a head start working on them. And it'd be good to go against halfway point, basically go against somebody else, and not have everybody knowing what the other side's doing. And we'll see who can go out there and execute in all 3 phases against another team before we play the first game against Wayne State.
Before you know it, Loper Backers is going to be upon you. How are things coming together for that big event?
Yeah, things are good. We're selling tables good. We need to probably ramp up our individual ticket sales. So we need to, keep working on that to get to, we're probably 10 tables off where we want to be, but that's about where we've been 4 or 5 weeks out. So we're not far off. We just need to continue to get people to buy tickets. It's a great event. Obviously, we feel good. And a lot of the, investment, people giving donations on things. And there's some good items that we're going to be, auctioning off and silent auction. And it should be a really good event. And this is year 3 for us, and we feel that it could be a really spectacular night on April 24th.
That was UNK head coach Ryan Hell. Now the annual Loper Backers event is set for April 24th, and the Loper Spring Game is set for Saturday, the 26th. For the Rural Radio Network, I'm Jason Jorgensen.